Hi there, it's Tania from Tatty Treasures. Hello there. Today I am going to do the first project with the items that I received from BeeBee Crafts. I think a video went up on Tuesday where I showed you what I'd got. So today I'm going to be using these metal corners. Now on BeeBee Craft they are 150 pieces and these are called iron corner pieces, and in the UK they come up at £7.96 and I think that's around $10. But like I say, you get them in this nice case as well. I know when I've ordered these types of things from, you know, eBay and that, they're just in little bags, and so this is great. If I have a few things from them and they're in these kind of things, it'd be nice to have a little bit of a stacking system with them. So that's that. I will leave the link for BeeBee Craft and the item number and what have you for the corners. What else was I going to say? I didn't say in the last video that if you do have over 100 subscribers, I think, or is it 300, you can contact BeeBee Craft and see if they will let you review some of their products. So I will put that information in the description too. I did put it in the description for Tuesday, I just totally forgot about it. So what I'm going to make, and I've been wanting to make these for a while, and I did want to get some corners, so I wanted to make some writing boards. So in essence they're really like jumbo journaling cards. I kind of put jumbo journaling cards in the fronts of file folders and the envelope journals and things like that, but I just normally back them with 200 GSM manila card. So it's not hefty, but it's not floppy at all. So these are going to be a little bit more substantial, so you can actually use them in your journal when your journal's quite lumpy bumpy, and when you're writing it's hard because there might be something on the, you know, the page underneath which makes it hard for writing. So what you do is you put one of these boards in between your pages, and then that allows you to write. And I'm going to keep the back blank so you can still write notes on it. You could use it as a kind of bookmark and that kind of thing, or if you just write letters and that, it could be just kept at your desk. I don't know if it'd be a good surface to use like when you're stamping, but obviously it wouldn't be protected. But yeah, that just popped into my head. So I'm going to make 4 of them, and the pages that I've chose are beautiful. So this one is out of, I know this is out of Nature Notes, which I have got a flip through of Nature Notes coming up shortly, because I wasn't sure if everybody had seen that one, because obviously everybody gets the diary one, and the Nature Notes one is normally a lot more expensive. So I've chose that one. I've chose this one, which is beautiful, and I think that could be from Nature Notes, but I might be mistaken. That one's definitely from the Country Diary, and I think that one's from Nature Notes. So we just thought the nice ones, because they've got some nice writing on, so it's something interesting to look at. I've also got my stamps out. Whether I use them or not is a different thing, but I've just started filming decorating the Edith Holden pieces that we've been making in the 3 and 15, And I did want to stamp under something, but this was in a box of where I keep my Edith Holden stuff. So I thought, oh, I'll get it out and keep it out while I'm doing that. So I've got that out anyway. So first I need to get these cut down to, did I say that I'm doing these for kind of A5 size journals? But obviously I want them to be a little bit smaller. So I'm not going to be super precise, I don't think, because I obviously want to, for me, getting the right picture is more important in this instance. So what I'm going to do is, I've got my trimmer at my side of me. I'm just going to cut under that number just to get rid of that first. I was going to make a template with the acetate, like I did when I was doing the file folders, to help me get the best part, but I didn't do that. So I'm just going to get a pencil and I'm going to line this up with the A5. So there is the A5. So I want it just smaller than the A5. So I would comfortably be able to just cut under that writing, which is brilliant for that sheet. You know, everything's intact. Yes, intact. So that's that height ways. So let's have a look, because obviously I would like to try to get them all similar. So it's just over 8 inches, and then we're going to have to sort some width out. So if I cut there, to try and keep the crab apples, like so, and then, oh gosh, I'm not going to be able to do it, am I? Oh, what a shame. Yeah, I should have done the template, shouldn't I? Okay. I don't actually know where my full sheets of acetate are. But I've got a couple of pieces here. Now, that's what I use for the front of a file folder, which is probably width-wise about right. But length-wise, it needs to be smaller. So, as you can see here, well, I don't know if you can see, if I point to my ruler with my other end of the pencil, it actually comes to there. So I am not going to use that piece because, you know, it's just not right, is it? Right, next. I should have possibly got a few out. So yeah, maybe I haven't actually picked out the best ones to use. Right, I don't think this is going to be right either, because if you cut it down that side, you're going to get half the writing. If you do that, still, if you try and centre it, you're going to get, but if you try and take it out, then it's going to make the height too small. So that one's not a goer either. Yeah, maybe getting ones with text wasn't a very good idea. So to get all this poem in, I would lose that, which that would be fine. So I would have to go in there where his name is and go in there. So I could possibly yeah, so this is okay. Now with height ways, yep, I could go. So let's measure. What did we say? Did we say just over 8? So that'd make that. So it would kind of make it 6 by 8. Hold on a minute. Okay, I just have to get it straight in my head. So lengthwise, we want it 8 inches, and that would sit comfortably in a big pocket at the front of your journal or just pushed in. And widthways about 5.5. So that one is about that. So yeah, that one would be fine. So that's a yes. Let's have a look at this one. I don't think this one's going to be right. So if we want it at 8, okay, so if we went above the writing and went to 8 that way, that would possibly work then, because we could go, just take a little bit off there and then cut about there. So with height wise, that would be fine. And then we said 5.5, so that writing starts. I can see why people have see-through rollers, you know. So that's 5.5. So again, you would lose that writing. Right, let me grab my loose Edith Holden. You know, when I sorted them out, I thought, why don't you get a few more out, just in case? And then I thought, no, they'll be perfect. Oh no, they're not. So I've not got that many loose. So this was another one that I really did like. So 8 high. That would be no good, because you would then take the first part off, which, I mean, that's a possibility, because you don't need the second bit. But then I think that's going to be where the corner piece goes, so that's something else to bear in mind. So that's no good. Might have to postpone this video. Right, so let's go 5.5 on this. So that's 5.5. Now if I took the writing off and went that way, yeah, see, going, even if you went from the end of the writing, you were still gonna, I mean, that's possibly not too bad. Okay, and then what did we say? 8. Yeah, that would be fine. So that's a possibility. Woohoo! Right, let's have a look at this one. See, we've got all writing in all different parts here. So if we came in there, that would take us to about there, but we wouldn't want to really cut the butterfly off. So if we went there, yeah, so width wise it would be fine. So if you went 8 from the bottom to get all of the writing in, it would come to about there, wouldn't it? So let's put the ruler there. Yeah, I'm not liking not seeing the tops, so we're not going with that. Let's have a look at this one. So if we went after the writing, that wouldn't go because it's, so you would have to go lower and just get part of the writing in, and then it wouldn't be enough because then you would be cutting that daffodil off. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So top of that flower to 8 would be there, and if you took it from that corner to try and get the writing out of it, again it wouldn't be right. Now, I don't really want to use that bit because that is half of a saying, unless I took it from there, which then it would be, no, that wouldn't be right. Now this is from a different Edith Holden book, and I think it's the butterfly one. Now this here, that line to there is just about 8, so that would be perfect. But then 5.5. So it can go, it doesn't have to be, it can be like just over 5.5. So if you went from the beginning of the writing to 5.5, again, see, you would cut that writing off there. Who would have thought that this would have been that difficult? So here, yeah, that would be not right, and that's got a word that's not really acceptable, so height wise I could do something with that, but gosh, how long have I been just deciding on papers? So that would be right height wise. You could get those out, and then so you would be left with that. That may be a possibility. Because there's something on. I'm not keen on that picture. So that is a possibility. I was wanting to do 4. So this could be a possibility. So that's the highest writing, I would say. So that would go to about there. Yeah, so if I did it from the top of there to there, so that would cut the writing out that way. And then we've got, let's say, a bit more. Yeah, that one would be absolutely perfect. But I would need to cut that really, really close to get the number out. So, yes. So I'm really happy with those two, and I'm happy with that one. If I find another one, then I would be even happier. So that's a possibility, and I do like this picture. I'm not saying, yeah, okay. Oh my goodness me. So already we've got stuff everywhere. So let me just, I'm going to pause, sort myself out, and I'll be back in a tick. Okay, I'm back. So I've got them cut. I did go wrong on one of them, so I changed it for this one. So what I've gone with is 8 high and 5.5 across. So if you had an A5 journal, it would fit in there fine. So yeah, it just took me a bit to work out the measurements, and then obviously the position of it on the thing. So now in hindsight, I wish I'd have done a template. So that one's that one, which I'm absolutely fine with. We've managed to keep the bees. I don't think it's you know, done a lot to the thistles, so that one's fine. Pleased with that one. I feel like I got more of the violet in than I thought I was gonna get. There's just a bit of pencil there. I think I've got a rubber somewhere. Now, this one, I did cut part of the bee, which I've probably got some green leaves somewhere, which if it does, I mean, I don't think it looks bad at all. I think it looks better like that than if it was part of the thing. But if it does, I could always put a leaf over the top, and I know I've got a bee cut out, so I could then add another bee, or I could add another bee anyway. So that's that one, and then that one. So yeah, quite happy with those. So if you're wanting to make one or whatever, and it is for that kind of size journal, then like I say, I've gone 8 high. Hold on a minute. To 5.5 across. So we've got that. What I'm going to do now is I have got some, I think we call this, I'm guessing this is just card. It feels about double the thickness of the 200, so I'm wondering if this is like 400, but I'd say it feels like a couple of cereal boxes together. Now originally I was going to stick 2 together because I think that is then a nice thickness with that on top, but then I thought it's not a very attractive back. I could have even used that. So I'm going to do that and then that, and I think that will be a nice thickness. So all I'm going to do now is, because you obviously can't see the trimmer, so I'm going to pause, and all I'm going to do is cut 4 lots of the craft card into that measurement, exactly the same measurement, and 4 of the manila cards, and then I will come back to you. Okay, so I've cut all those, so I've got 4 in the manila, 4 in the craft, and then my Edith Holden pictures. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to use the tacky glue. I don't like it, so I'm going to use it, but I want to get it used up, and I've found when I've done it with digitals, it's run the ink, so I'm trying to use it on when I'm doing card and book pages, just to get it used up. The reason I don't like it is because it runs your digitals, and you do tend to need a lot on, which then you run the risk of your paper, you know, like puckering up. But I'm kind of thinking, because the Edith Holden's pretty thick, it's not going to have that problem. Sorry if that's a bit loud. Now, I was going to sew these around, but I'm thinking if they've got the corners on, I do think it will look a little bit strange, so I'm not going to. Now, if I was, I would have sewn this, the Edith Holden, first before putting it onto the card. So the sewing would have just been a decorative touch. It wouldn't have been sealing it onto anything else. It would have just been for something to look at. So I don't think it's an exact match, but once I've inked and stuff, it's only a very small fraction. It's minuscule. So if I can still notice it once I've inked up, then I might just trim that a bit down, but otherwise it's fine. Now glue is spooling out, so that will be excuse me, fine for that side. And then I'm gonna put the manila on the other side, and then what I'm going to do is use my clips to clip it all down, and then I'm probably going to leave it about 30 minutes. I'll just put the video on pause, but I'm going to leave it about 30 minutes so it gets a chance to dry and bond together, because I think this is quite slow at drying. So hopefully, and then if any of the edges aren't down, I can then just poke my art glitter glue around the edges. So hopefully, it's a bit funny, you measure them all the same, but there's just a fraction. I'm not going to do it with that credit card because it's meant to squash everything out. So what I'm trying to do is push everything down to one side. So if I do end up trimming it off, it will just be down the one side. So that's that. See, it is puckering a little bit. Wrong one, Tania. Don't throw brads around. We've done that. They're not brads, are they? They're eyelets. Right. So I'm going to use my handy dandy little clips. Get some right on the corners. And then in the middles. Now I think that could leave an indentation looking at it. Yeah, not doing that. So what I'm going to do is get my heavy book out, and I will just place a couple of heavy books on it, and that should be fine. So for now I'm going to pause again, because all I'm going to do is do exactly the same to the other three. So then I'll leave them to dry and I shall be back. Okay, I think they're flat enough for inking up and stuff. So I shall ink around them. I'm not doing a lot of inking. I'm not going into the picture. I am just going around the edges just to hide the, you know, the 3 layers and make it more into, you know, one piece. So that's the only really reason, and just to define the edges. And I don't know, I think it just looking a bit old, and that just gives it a little bit of mystery and stuff. I don't know. I think you either like inking or you don't. I know when I first started, I thought it was all a little bit weird, but now I do. I can't imagine not. So for me, that's fine on the front side. Should just make sure they inked a little bit around the outside. The back, sorry. And I will be stamping something at the back to give it some interest. So that's one. They're not totally dry. I'm gonna say they're looking as if they want to curl up, but I'm gonna be putting a matte medium on next to protect it and to protect it. And to give it, I think it just gives it, not as shiny because it is a matte, but yeah, it gives it a really fine kind of shine, which is nice. And I don't know, it just seems to bring it all together. So, whew, they're big, these are. It's a lot of inking. Now I've kind of learnt to put two films together. Yeah, maybe next step is looking at being able to, you know, fast forward things and things like that. But yeah, I don't think I'm ready to learn that till next year. I think I've learnt enough this year. I mean, I thought it would be really difficult, you know, making the videos and uploading them and things like that. Now, you know, I don't even have to think about it. I can find everything in the YouTube studio and things like that. But yeah, it takes me a long time to get used to where things are and all the rest of it. So I think my brain's had enough this year for learning. So that's that. Do that. I think I'll stamp it before I put the matte medium on it. I'm not gonna put the matte medium on the back, just on the front. So I don't suppose it matters when I stamp it. In fact, I'll stamp them at the end, thinking about it. So once I've done this, I'm going to put a protective sheet down and put the matte medium on. Then I will end the video there, because I'm guessing it's going to take, well, I will probably then leave it till another day. Then I will come back to it and well, I'll show you in a minute, because I'm thinking it's gonna want 2 coats. And I'm thinking if I just give it, you know, a thin coat to start with and then another thin coat instead of you know, a thicker coat. And I did want to do something in between the coats. So this is all quite new territory for me, using different mediums and things like that. So that's all those done. Yeah, so I wanted, I'm not a mega glitter person, but I did think a touch of glitter here and there, you know, maybe just on the bee. In fact, I'm going to stick that bee down before I, because I do think it does need a bit of something here. So yeah, just an odd bit of glitter, and then when it has all been matte mediumed and it's all dry, I've got this metallic antique gold paint which I'm gonna put all around the edges and then the corners on. So it'll be a nice little piece. Let me just grab that bee. Should be in the top of me Edith Holden box, and I've got two, but one of them's quite white, so I think that will fit in there lovely. So just pop that back, and I'll just put that down with just a little bit of art glitter glue, and it's already been inked. So do we want it? Well, they're going to the flowers, aren't they? So might have it there, but still feel, yeah, I'm gonna have it there. I think it needs to be flying in. So I don't need a lot on, because obviously I'm going to go over it with the matte medium. I was going to do it with Mod Podge, but I'd put it in a glass jar, added some water to it I think I used it for decoupage, so I added some water in, and then obviously when I've used it another time, I've shook the jar up to you know, so, well, you just shake the jar. I don't know the reason, but there's a reason. And obviously then all the glue has stuck the lid down, so I couldn't get in it. So I'd got there, and I've only used this, I think, once before, so who knows? But it's the same thing, isn't it, as Mod Podge. Right, let me get that black mat. I didn't want to do anything else, did I? Because I'm going to stamp it and put the glitter on and stuff at the end. So I've just got, these are children's little brushes. You get them about, I don't know, 10 in a set or something. So this is a 1 inch. I did think, I mean, I may find it too big, but oh, here goes. So who knows if it's too big or not. So I don't kind of know, well, I don't know at all what it's supposed to look like. Or you're supposed to try and get the lines out. Yeah, you can kind of get the lines out. Okay. So let's first be more bothered about getting it all on and round the sides and things. I think that's first job. So I will probably, I've got a couple of these mats, so I'll probably paint on, well, glue on this one, and then put it on a fresh mat. Just pop it onto the floor next to my desk to dry, because I obviously don't want it sticking down. I suppose I could put some greaseproof paper underneath to stop it sticking, but hey ho, I've only just thought of that. And I don't know where it is. Oh, it's probably in the kitchen. Quite excited to see what it looks like. Because yeah, I do want to start using some different things and incorporating things in. It'll make pieces, you know, a little bit more interesting. So I would say that has got a thin coat over it. I can't see that there's any, you know, bumpy things or anything apart from that bit of fluff that's just jumped itself in. Yep. So I think that is fine. So let me get the other, oh, where's the lid? Other mat. I'm just going to put that next to my desk on the floor and lay that down there. So that's one. I'll just do one more with you and then I will turn off, do the other two, and then I'll leave them to dry and stuff. I will try and join these two videos together, so it's not a part 1 and 2. I don't know if there's a kind of, you know, the videos have to be shorter than, no longer than, you know, blah blah minute type thing. So yeah, I don't know if there's a maximum or whatever. So I'm thinking this one's going to be quite long. We're already on 41. And if I come back, put some glitter on, stamp, and give it another coat. Yeah, because then I'm going to have to stop it again so it can all dry to then paint around the edges. So I guess it is going to really be 3 videos. So yeah, we shall see. But I would, like I say, prefer to join them all into one and just have one long video rather than, because I think it's a bit, I know you put part 1, part 2 and part 3, but I think as you're seeing them on your YouTube feed, it can be a bit confusing. So I think that one's that. So I'm going to leave it there and I will see you back very shortly. Bye for now. Hello and welcome back. Not sure if I'll be joining these 2 videos together or not, so you'll either wonder what I'm on about, saying welcome back, or yeah, or it will be part 2. So I have now given this 2 coats of the Liquitex, which is the matte gel, and it's made it a lot you know, stiffer piece, which is good. I've just had a mess about with this one this morning, put the corners on, just put some gold acrylic paint around the side, a little bit messy, but did it with my fingers, and then I've just put a little bit of gold on top of the violets. So I'll show you how I've did that. So let's do the thistle one. That's the, oh, I've got a little gem stuck on there. That's the acrylic paint that I've used. It's called Metallic Antique Gold. And then I've just used some of this glitter glue, which is a Duff Craft one. I've had it for for a long time. Oh, now I've got my light here, haven't I? Let me see. Let's keep those up there. Yeah, I've had to put the light on. It is quite sunny this morning, but there's like a ray of sun coming in this way. But when I put my light on, the main light, it kind of counters that out. So I don't really need the light on. It was just to get rid of the sunbeam. So these corners, they just slip on lovely, and I've just got some, I'm guessing they're just pliers. I only got them from the pound shop. They're nothing fandabidaisy. And all you have to do is just press slightly, not over the top, just a little squeeze, and I've just pressed each side twice. That's it. And then That goes on lovely. Thought I'd put the corners on first before I do the painting with my fingers, because then you've got these to hold on to. So I can just clamp it round. Just make sure it's properly flush into the corner before you clamp it down. So that's that one. And already I think, you know, what a difference that's made. Now it doesn't look like a giant journal card. It looks something a bit more substantial. Yeah. So I think I'm going to save these boards until I do some Edith Holden next year. I was going to put them in the shop separately, but I think I'll just save them, and I'll probably pop them in with the file folders. Right, so I might as well do all the corners all at once, and then I can get the corners off, because I'm thinking that'll be better if I start getting paint all over me fingers. We'll just get into a right old mess. So yeah, these corners, I think I've had some before, and I think I had a go of them, and I just squashed the whole front of them. So these do seem quite, you know, a more sturdier metal, and I do love the colour of these. And I think I said there was iron, but yeah, it just looks like the antique colour that I tend to like using. So that's that. Last one. Right, last one. Let's get the 4 out ready. Yep. So I do think these would look lovely on a journal cover. I think it just gives it that nice finished look. And then if you put the metal book plate on as well, it would look very nice. I think it makes it look more expensive as well, with just a few bits of metal. Get that in the corner. That's that. Right, so that's those done. So I'm going to put the, shall I put the glitter on next? I think I will. So all I'm going to do is, I've just got a little paint palette thing. I don't know if they are the paint palettes. Just going to squeeze some in, and then I'm just going to use my finger, not put loads on. So with the thistle one, I kind of want to go on the thistles and the bees, but we'll start off with the thistle. Let's start from the top. So I'm just going to dab it on with my finger, and then just keep dabbing so it separates it a little bit, so it's not just all in a big clump. That's probably enough for that one. with it being a glue, it obviously sticks down, and then you're not, when you keep pressing it in, you're not keep taking it all off, because it is actually adhering it down to the paper. You can feel that it's sticking. So that's that. So I think with that one we'll just leave it on the thistles, because on this one I'm going to do the bees. So just move it a little bit closer to me. So I think I'll just put a tiny amount on just for a little bit of, that's it. I don't know if you can, I'll load it up a little bit when I've done it, see if you can see it. So this one I'm gonna go all down the flowers. Sorry, just noticed that the camera's jumping up and down. A bit more on that one. There we go. I've got a little bit left, so I am going to just put it onto the that. So I'll hold this one on, because this has got the mouse, so you might see, I don't know if, I can't see if you can see it or not. Oh, I think you just got a bit there. I like it. Right, let's put the lid on that. So I'll move that one out the way a little bit, and right, I want to be a little bit more gentle than I was on my first attempt. So again, I'm just going to dab my finger in. I'm going to dab my finger out, so I've not got a big pull on. And really, I don't want it coming over the front. I just want it down the edge. So I think the first go, I'll just rub it down the edge. And then I'll just give it some of the magic dabbing. So you can just see it on the top. That's it. That's gone across on the front anyway. So, oh, it's so hard not to then get your hand in it. Probably would have been best putting it on top of something and then like kind of spinning it round. Could do with a, is it a Lazy Susan? It's not very nice, is it? Right, I've got all that, yep. And just do that last piece. So that's that one. Yeah, I really do like them. Right, I'll just put that, I've got some mats on the floor, so just popped them on there to dry. So like I say, I did end up giving it 2 coats. After the second coat there was a few bubbles, so I did get a little pin and just pierced the bubbles, and then I went back over it, gave it a full coat, and there's still an odd bubble, but nothing nothing major. I think they're putting the pin in some to work. I am going to get some Inca Gold at some point, but I had bought this gold paint when I first started, so I'm kind of, well, I'm not buying anything else till it's gone, and obviously I don't use it that often, so it might last a while longer. But I'm imagining the Inca Gold is it more like a creamy, so it's not as runny type thing. So that's that one. But yeah, I just thought it finished it off nice with those corners as well. Right, I'm gonna have to move this. Just got this lovely brown paper in with a Christmas decoration that I'd bought, so I'm gonna be keeping that. Oh yes, you probably have noticed that my desk is now bare. Well, I'm filming this just a few days before Halloween, and you know, because there'll be no parties and trick-or-treating and what have you this year, I've not put any decorations outside. I know a lot of people have, but I don't know if you will get the odd person still thinking it's quite fine to go knocking on people's doors. So I didn't really want it to look you know, like I was participating kind of thing. So I've got like a sideboard at the top of the stairs, and we've put the pumpkin on there, and then we've put all the leaves, you know, what was on my desk around it, and all the little pumpkins, so it looks a bit like a pumpkin patch. And then we've got some like a spider web tablecloth, and then there's some skulls and things like that. So yeah, I'd cleared my table, and that's that one. Originally I was then putting the Christmas stuff on my table last night, but what I'd bought for the table, what I thought would be fine, was one of those things that go across your fireplace, you know, what has lights in and stuff, and it got cones and things like that, but I couldn't manipulate it well enough to get it around the desk without being too into my desk. And I know in where I keep the Christmas tree and that, I have got a bag of cones and all things like that, but I really couldn't be bothered to get them out, so we might have a few days with nothing on my desk. But it's nice having that extra space. But yeah, I miss it. Miss having all those colours on my desk. It feels quite boring. So that is it. I'm not going to pick them back up and get them onto the table again. I'll obviously take a photo when they're dry, and that'll be in the thumbnail. So that was my first craft with the things from BeeBee Craft. So thank you very much for joining me. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.